Hello and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a discussion about the shadow, and the whole reason I'm making this video is because this is what called me to even be able to give me the potentiation to be able to even feel called to come to this space to share with you guys this information. It was through me working with and understanding my shadow that I was able to heal and connect to potentiation of what my nervous system was trying to all these charts, all the charts, all the stuff that I was trying to share with you guys and create for all. I was recording videos for 4 years with myself, uploading it sometimes, but I was always just feeling like a little uncertain at the time, and I realized I finally feel comfortable enough to really share with you guys the awareness I've developed in connection to my shadow, and the awareness I've developed in connection to my shadow, and maybe be able to offer it with you guys so that you guys can further build upon it in your own lives beyond me. Um, so that it's because I realize this is something that everyone has. So that's kind of why it's really integral. So, first of all, let's really start here. Your shadow is essentially the counterpart of what you have yet to be introduced to, that is innately connected to what wholly been discussing the past every video that I've discussed recently. I've created a bunch of videos. I privated a bunch, by the way. That's why a bunch were privated. But three, four, five of them I think are up at this point. And essentially, I made all these videos to discuss the concept of your implicit memory or the memory that you have yet to experience. And this is innately connected to your shadow, because the reason I did my work through the shadow was because I was aware that if this is the energy I've spent, it's aware of the energy I've spent in alignment with what was in alignment with what was for me, and it also and what I've experienced emotionally in my life, and it's also aware of the awareness of what I've spent in alignment with my future potential. You get that? Does it make sense? Hopefully that's clicking. So essentially, I'm saying when I was a very young kid, I was aware that I am my mind connected in a body, my non physical self in a body, a physical self. Not many people were tuned in like that, but I was tuned in like that, and I try to share that with people around me, and I get dogged. People would just say duh, or or not even that. They would dead ass throw ad hominems at me, or just just totally disregard me and trivialize me, and it was like insane. But I'm grateful now because I was realizing how insane it was for me to keep going up to people that didn't care about me in the first place, or try to offer a type of service to them when that wasn't something they asked for in the first place. That was out of pocket on my part. But also I have to say, in a lot of retrospects, sometimes it was even like I was just being me. I was literally just expressing myself, and sometimes I would be just abrasive, or I'd say something and it came off like I didn't think to I didn't think about a nuance of that they would feel a particular way, and I was just so solely this is just, I thought everyone wants to be a better person. So from my retrospect, I saw it as everyone would tell me how they feel if they want something. Everyone would tell me what they need if they need something, or if they're aware of something and like they're aware of something that I have going on that I'm not aware of, they can tune me in on it, and I'll let them know if they have anything that they're not aware of that I see. And that's kind of how I was going about my life at a very young age. So I think what happened was my experience gravitated a lot of spiritual, you could say just truth, clarity, in a lot of retrospects. But I have to say, in retrospect, I also gravitated a lot of negative people. And I was one of those people. My own personhood was what gravitated those people. Is what I'm getting at. That is where you get the responsibility here. This is the shadow aspect. I started to realize the thing that was making me in alignment with a lot of those people was the person I was being, and it was the person I was spending energy and expending energy on. And I started to realize that when I worked with my shadow, it started to help me to regulate what I was expending energy on and then start to be able to, I was even expending energy, be able to recognize I was even expending energy on things, and then start to be able to be aware of what I was expending energy into in context of, and then aware of if that's even something that's in alignment with my highest favor, and then in alignment with what would God would want for me, like just beyond, like, you know, and it's like, it saves you so much time when you start to just realize and move with like protection over yourself, um in this manner. This is a type of protection as it is, um and that's why I'm offering it to you guys to just be aware of it. The awareness is the protection. Being unaware does not make you any more protected than being aware. That is what I wish, like, that's just baseline. So I'm saying, regardless of what anyone else has to say, you becoming aware of something and just having awareness of it doesn't hurt you. It amplifies you, and it should be able to amplify you as spirit. It's about understanding the spirit is what's being it's the what's being a relationship that's being built. It has to be a choice. You have to choose spirit, and it comes. You have to allow it. It's here, like, and we're talking about God here, and we're talking about your highest favor and your highest spirit. That's what we're talking about, not just any old spirit. Like, so yeah, that's it. That's all. Oh. I want to add, your shadow is also the energy of spit in your life. So if it's the energy of spit in your life, that also means it's the things that which you've never really seen yet. So, and we're talking about implicit memory. Yeah, it would be connected to implicit memory, but that also is connected to like your just expression, what you would like to create. You, the way this function is through your body. So essentially, what I'm getting at is how your shadow can come through is through how you take care of yourself, or how you don't take care of yourself. You can become aware of your shadow through how you don't take care of yourself, and through becoming aware of your shadow, you become aware of and make aware, and it becomes a part of you. It starts to be integrated. You start to integrate it, and it starts to become aware of and a part of your explicit memory, your conscious self. And so it's not so much a shadow anymore. And this plays into the feminine current, the idea of the moon, and how we're being pulled by a certain force. Um, and it's understanding that this force pulls us up into the point that it's like inertia. We're pulled by another type of force. And so it's understanding that most often at times, our shadow, our embodiment, our conscious embodiment in our life will often be moved by what our shadow has experienced up until our point, our higher favor, our highest nature comes in and it knocks it right on track, is what I'm getting at. Do you get it? And it's through your shadow, with your shadow, in alignment with your shadow, because it's communicating through your present moment. Because your shadow is your present moment, the things that you don't find enjoyable about your present moment as well. The things you haven't even fully cognitively recognized about that. Or even you have and you don't, you just, and then even that's the thing. Let's just say you just realize that you just things just make you feel a particular way. You become aware of them, and then it's your duty to be able to recognize and acknowledge and find a way to appreciate and take care of your needs, and what you start to like, how you start to gain context for yourself. And yeah, and I had to say also, in retrospect, sometimes you'll get awareness that seems so like it'll give you awareness of your higher spiritual potential, maybe in another life, or um just in general of what you're able to, what you're just the capacity you're able to complete in this life. But at the end of the day, it's recognizing that sometimes our spirit gives us the ability to perceive that that's a possibility, so we can feel that feeling, so we can quantify in a way that we're able to in our conscious daily life that is in alignment with that similar feeling state, that actively makes it happen in alignment with something that not makes that happen, but makes something of a particular thing that's in alignment for our present life, for our current life, in alignment with that same higher favor, that higher concept, the higher expression. And it's really beautiful. Like when you start to think about it, um, and the reason this goes back to the shadow is because that also includes the energy of the energies you spend previous lives. So that's kind of why you're able to tune into it. When you start to work with it, you're not so much immersed in the emotions of what you've experienced in this life, so your shadow starts to tune into some of the experiences you may have experienced elsewhere. Just put it like that, elsewhere, in your in your present moment, or elsewhere. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. You'll experience you'll just be totally chill in your present moment for all this. You'll just sometimes what I'm just getting at is you'll feel just so chill. Certain visions and feelings and creative ideas or ways you can express yourself will just like start coming through. Um, yeah, and it goes back to the shadow. Oh, and I also want to say the idea where the shadow, there's more to this. The shadow is just one aspect of our concept of what we can expand upon. It's not all of it, but if you are interested in expanding your idea of the soul or anything like that, I highly recommend the Egyptian idea of what the seven concepts of the soul and how they understand the shadow. That really plays into helping you if you want, if you're open to it as your own mind and your own awareness, to just understand what that type of retrospect or that how they would go about that. So you can kind of see just a different perspective on how beyond just your what you've been introduced to about your relationship to spirit, about how other cultures and concepts have related to spirit, so you can start to build your own relationship to spirit that's in alignment with you, that's in alignment with how it actually comes through with a higher language, through its higher language, and it's through a pattern of behavior, and it's through expression, and yeah, I'm just gonna cut it there. And I realized I started to become aware of my higher possibility because my shadow would kind of just like start telling me information. Simple, simple as that. As soon as it stopped trying to torment me with experiences that I've been through over and over and over again, um, because I realized even beyond that, this is my body autonomically replaying experiences to try to keep me safe. So even if we're gonna just throw the shadow idea out the window, my body was just replaying memories to try to keep me safe, so I can integrate them, so that I can integrate the narrative and the roles that were played in that experience, so I can become aware of what roles and experiences played out, so I can know where I placed my power, where I placed my power, so I can know where I placed my power. And that's how your shadow comes through. It helps you to become aware of. Oh, and also I have to say that additionally, if you get into archetypes or anything like that, or any awareness of like how, like any type of deity or anything like that, the reason people get into deity work also, not I'm not speaking for everyone, but the in retrospect in how you can understand deity work through the nervous system level, is people sometimes have channeled energies through their nervous system. That's kind of how they did that. That like literally, that's all I have to say about that. They do that through that mechanism, and so I'm saying that's how some people have been able to